great win for UMass tonight. It was certainly a team win with offense, defense, and special teams all contributing on the scoreboard. And you need that in games like this to give us a little bit of cushion, although it certainly got tight down at the end. But great finish by our guys, some big plays by our guys, and that got us over the top today.
Coach, I'll use some players first.
Go for players, yeah.
Ryan, is that a kickoff return setup you guys have been saving for a big spot?
No, I'm not necessarily saving it, but just kind of felt like it was the right time today, so pulled it out.
Wait, Ryan, when you guys practice that, do you run the play through? Do you envision a touchdown out of that?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Do you owe your brother one for that first
Oh,
ball?
yeah, that was a great block. As soon as I got the ball, I looked and I just saw Maine player just go flying, and I was like, that's when I knew I was going all the way, because I just saw 3 blocks being set up the whole time.
For anybody, how does a play like that set the tone for kind of the mood and momentum and things for the game?
I think that's huge. You know, last week the special teams play kind of set us off too after Tharp's hit and then Anthony's return. This week it was Ryan. You know, just something like that's a big momentum swing, and it really helps jumpstart the game.
When everybody, the special teams, the defense, and the offense all score, does that just kind of lift the team as a whole as far as making everybody feel like that they had even more of a hand in it?
Yeah, it does. You know, like you said, he set the tone out the gates. You know, we'd been coming out flat previous weeks, so we wanted to come out with a lot of spark. Ryan provided that, and I think that gave us the lift for the victory today.
Tyler, you've had a few picks, but how bad did you want to take one back?
You know, I've been wanting to take one back since I started playing. You know, I always in practice. You know, me and my friends always joke, so when you go take one to the crib, you know, when you gonna score. And today was my day. You know.
You ever do that in high school? Ever run one back?
I think I ran back a couple in high school, but it doesn't feel as good as scoring in college.
The main coach, Jack Cosgrove, just said that he thought that on the second one, you were trying to bait the quarterback a little bit to make it look like there was a window and then closing it. Was that what you had in mind?
You know, Coach did a great job in film, you know, telling me read off the quarterback's intentions. You know, he tells you where he wants to go. So I just played off his eyes and saw where he wanted to go, made a jump, and led to a score for us.
Rob, for you guys in that long drive with a couple of successful fourth down conversions, how big is it for you guys when you get those fourth downs?
It's huge getting a fourth down conversion. Like Coach said at halftime, when you have a 10-minute drive and you have a few third and fourth down conversions, it just takes the wind out of the sails of D, you know? It's pretty demoralizing to give that up.
Kyle, it seemed like you got a lot of people involved today. Does it feel like everybody kind of had a hand in it as far as receivers go?
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone who started the game had a catch at least. I think, and they all did a great job. Everyone made great catches. The biggest catch for me was Dan Sheeran's on the fourth down.
Right.
I mean, I put it a little bit outside of his body frame because the linebacker was right there, and he just reached out and got it. And that was huge for us.
Julian Talley isn't even he had a couple of big catches too.
Yeah.
It must be comfortable for you to see all these guys out there able to make difficult catches.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I trust all those guys and know that no matter where I put it, I mean, that one-handed catch Talley had in the end zone, that was unbelievable. And they all do that week in and week out. They do it every day at practice. So it's something I know I can trust those guys. I can put it anywhere and they'll get it.
Kyle, how different is the atmosphere? Maybe it's not that different because you guys have always spoken confidently. How different is the atmosphere now for this team than maybe 2 weeks ago when you guys were struggling?
But I mean, you really hit it right there. It really hasn't been any different. I mean, I think they'd all agree. Practice is exactly the same. We haven't changed anything. We just go out and practice every day and work hard. And I mean, it could be cold, raining, whatever. We just know we got to get it done if we want to win. So the attitude really hasn't changed at all.
Was getting off to the start you got off to, coming off of the big win last week, when you start off like that, does it make it feel like, okay, it's carrying over where our momentum is still going?
Yeah, it's kind of like a here we go again type thought, but in a good way, you know what I mean? Like, here we go, we're rolling, let's just keep this going.
When you picked that time to you think touchdown, you were just thinking to maximize whatever you can do.
Well, I mean, ideally you're thinking touchdown. You're trying to get the big play. You know, obviously we scout it out and try to go through when the best time to call the play is. And as you mentioned, we had a good finish in the second half last week. We hadn't, as Tyler mentioned, we hadn't been starting off in particularly fast fashion in the second half of the season here. So thought we had a shot at it, and certainly if you get it done right, which we did tonight, you got a shot at scoring the big play, and we hit the big one tonight. Great blocking, great execution, well schemed, and good fielding of the ball by Nelson. They pitched it back to Carter, and he took it all the way around the edge. Showed some good speed as well.
Coming off the field at halftime, I mean, you know there's still a half to go, but you have to feel good about everybody's ass, because as you said, there was contributions from everybody.
Yeah, I mean, look at the scoreboard. You certainly like the score at that point in time. It was 32-10 at the half. At halftime, so that's you got to be excited about that score. In any CAA game coming out. Now we knew the second half was going to be a challenge, but we certainly were very pleased that going in at the half with that. The offense had the big drive, 2-minute drill. They had the drive before that with the fourth, I think 3 fourth down conversions. Then Tyler came up with an interception for a touch in the first half, and then again in the second. They opened the kickoff. So there's a lot of things to be happy about. The special teams were a little bit shaky on some other special teams in the first half. We cleaned that up in the second half.
It's not that Tyler's been overlooked, obviously, but it's especially rewarding for you see a player like that who gives you so much weekend to get some points to be able to.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I mean, we certainly, as you mentioned earlier, it certainly helps. The overall atmosphere on the sideline. There's not as much tension because you're getting free points. And those are big bonus points coming in. Tyler took them both back, and again, another great player. And that's we mention him every week because he's always around the ball. And tonight he made a huge impact with the points by himself.
You knew he was an excellent player coming into the season. Have you been surprised at just how much he's been a dominant force?
No, I mean, you think that they have some schemes geared up for him and things like that. But last year he played middle backer. This year he's playing outside backer. So he's the one that had to make all the adjustments. He's made all those adjustments and he's continuing to make plays. In the run game, I think what Jay said, it's 6 tackles tonight.
Yeah.
6 tackles, but 2 picks for touchdowns. So I think I'll take that any day of the week. He was the CA Player of the Week last week, and is pretty much a candidate every week. He's just that kind of player, and he keeps getting better.
How pleased were you with how the defense as a whole was able to make some big stops and force some turnovers, which has been lacking the last few weeks?
And the turnovers is the big thing, I think. The stops are great, obviously, and we want to continue to do that. But the turnovers, what we were lacking, we hadn't had a turnover in a few games, and an impact turnover at that. Tonight we had the 2 picks for a touchdown and the big interception at the end as well by Mike Lee.
Woody Carter said you guys had focused on that kickoff return play and said it had to be a touchdown. That feel pretty good to get it to go exactly the way.
Oh yeah, I mean it was the kids did a great job executing. They really did. They really they took their assignments to task and got the job done. Which is on that there's a lot of kickoff and kickoff return. There's a lot of bodies running around, and it's kind of random at times, but Maine came down hard like we thought they would, and they're a good kick cover team. And our guys were able to get their good angles and get clean blocks and finish the playoffs. It was great, very exciting, great way to start.
Carters have been pretty good special teams players for you over the course of this season in general. They kind of have that sort of the mental makeup to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, they have that, and they have the speed. They're very competitive, and as a tandem, they're both our gunners. So when they go down every time we punt the ball, those are the 2 guys down there, and they're in charge of. Woody's had a couple where he pinned it inside the one, and just because he's the save guy and Ryan's the front guy. But when they're crowding the ball on all those deep ones, that's the Carter brothers, and then a kickoff. They both run down extremely hard, make plays for us there, and then kick return as well. And again, Woody Carter, the big block last week on the interception, on the punt return, and then another big block this week on the kickoff.
Are there any other siblings you can recruit?
Well, we got the Brandt brothers.
I'm not any other Carters, but yeah, that's true.
The Brandt brothers are doing a great job as well in special teams. Keep both healthy at the same time. Those guys have a great impact as well.
Kyle's development has certainly been very impressive, and that first half was as good a first half as you're going to see many quarterbacks play at this level. It was a pretty tremendous effort. What have you seen in terms of him just really elevating his game?
Well, it's taking care of the football. I mean, I don't know what his stats were at the end of the first half, but at the game, just looking at the stats here, he's 22 of 28, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. I mean, you're going to win football games throwing like that. It's very similar to what he did up in Michigan. He lost that game. Last week he was 15 of 19 with no interceptions as well. So I mean, you continue to take care of the football, and good things happen for us offensively. He's doing a good job spreading it out, seeing his reads, not trying to force the ball in. We took a couple sacks tonight. That obviously we'd like to have those back, but and those are some third and middle longs as well. But he's doing a great job spreading the ball out, and he has a great understanding of the offense, and continues to mature in it.
A lot's been said about the dual rushing threat that you have, but talk about the amount of threats that you have receiving-wise. I mean, he really seem to hit a bunch of different guys out there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you know, the big one here, yeah, you had Rob Blanchflower in the mix now. He had 5 receptions tonight. You know, he was our offensive MVP last week for internally within the team. So he's come out and made himself a force in terms of the pass receiving game with Emil Ganagu, who's been out. You know, in and out. You know, we thought we'd get Emil back. He's day to day, and we thought we'd get him back for tonight, and ended up he couldn't go full speed. So we have you know, Rob in his place, and he's added to the tandem, the trifecta really of Nelson, Talley, and Sheeran on the outside. And I know those guys, I don't know, Jay would know statistically where we're at, but I think Nelson was leading the league in receptions. Talley's in the top 10, and Sheeran's he's second. Talley's second, and Sheeran's, you know, obviously creeping up the ladder a little bit as well in the last 2 weeks with a couple of big catches for us as well. So, you know, very strong on the outside, and Haven's able to get him the ball, which I think is huge, which makes him that much more effective. But some great catches tonight. I mean, Talley's one-handed engine was outstanding.
We didn't have a very good first half, and got behind a very good team. Thought they executed real well in the first half, especially on down and distance, 3rd and 4th downs, and kept their drives alive. We couldn't get off the field, and as a result, I thought they executed very well. They threw the ball, caught the ball, and you know, we put ourselves in a huge hole. You know, right away from the opening kickoff and 2 defensive scores. That's a real tough hole to climb out of. You know, I thought we kept battling, we kept playing. We had our chances. We turned it over 4 times in the course of the game, and you know, that's not going to get it done against a good team in this league.
Questions?
Sean, excuse me. You were obviously able to find some holes today. Had your best rushing performance so far. Tell me what you were like seeing out there. What the line was able to do at times for you.
Basically, just making my reads, reacting to what I seen, trying to get vertical as fast as possible. The line was doing their job, blocking up front real good, and I just trying to get upfield as fast as I could.
Coach, the 2 touchdowns aside, what makes Tyler Holmes so effective? Of course, he's so good.
You know, I already had a chance to watch him play last week against James Madison, and something that stuck out to me, and I don't know if anybody ever saw it in the course of the game last week, but that big hit on the sideline from your corner that got everybody juiced up. Everybody was Thrall was celebrating. Tyler Holmes went and tracked the ball down because it might have been a fumble. He's the only guy of the 11 guys, and he went and tracked the ball down, picked it up, and was scooping and scoring the thing. So the guy's a football player. He's tuned in, and he locks in. You know, he plays the run great. You know, he baited the quarterback on his 2nd touchdown. The first one he threw, we shouldn't have made the throw. I mean, he threw it right to him. But the second one was a bait job. You know, he's a good football player. He really is outstanding.
Baited him how?
You sit on the receiver. You know, we ran a snag route inside, and I think he's a confident kid, and he can look and kind of give that quarterback a little bit of a window and then take it away. At least that's what I thought. Maybe I thought he baited him.
Dante, you guys were you know, able to play a little bit better defensively in the second half. Tell me, I mean, anything changed? What did you guys talk about at halftime?
We didn't talk about anything, really. We didn't make any halftime adjustments. We just told ourselves, like, what we were doing wasn't, like, acceptable. We had to step it up, and we did. But it wasn't. It shouldn't have even came to that. We should have did that in the first quarter before we even came out there. So a little bit too late, I guess.
Did the opening kickoff for a touchdown just kind of put you guys into playing catch-up mode all day?
Well, I mean, it's not a great way to start a football game. I thought, you know, our guys were ready to play the game, excited to play the game, and certainly. And again, I don't want to let this slip away without. You know, they executed that kickoff return. We helped them the line drive kick, you know, but they executed that. You know, they had a great wall set up, and UMass really played an outstanding offensive game in the first half. I mean, you know, Dante he's right. We didn't make any adjustments. We just, you know, one of the things I said, they can't keep executing this at a high level. They're gonna miss a throw here or something. They're gonna. Because he was right on the money with the 3rd down stuff, and it just really was, again, a compliment to them on their execution in the first half.